the work and esto es una porquería, esto no es arte, this is rubbish. And at the end of the day, you know, that is a very subjective thing. By all means, there is a lot of rubbish, but not everything is bad. So anyway, let's get on with the job in hand. And now, more or less, I'm going to position it where I think it's going to work. Funnily enough, this work of art is now nearly complete. Because it's just a concept, it doesn't take very long. What I'm going to do now, my usual dripping paint, I'm just going to apply paint freely on the canvas. Okay, that should be enough. There's only 2 stages left. Now, the next process, I'll see if it's enough. If not, you just apply more paint. I'll turn this round so you can see it better. I'm just going to allow the paint to slowly... I mean, ideally I would like some dripping effect, but at the end of the day, one has to be open to whatever happens on the actual painting. So, if I don't like the way the paint is dripping and it seems a bit solidy, I can always add to it later on, and we'll do that in a second. Remember, very little artistry here, very little technique. You don't need to know how to draw, you don't need to know how to paint, you just need a good idea. That is crucial in conceptual art. Okay, I think that is enough now to prove the point. I'll just add a bit of more dripping effect. Probably till it gets right till the end of the painting. And this you can do any size. You can do a really large painting. I've seen exhibitions where something like this can take, you know, meters. But at the end of the day, you don't really need that much. And just to end it and to give this painting the concept, so it's clearly visible, and I'm sure a lot of you have already caught what I'm trying to say, I'm going to write a message, and I'll have to twist around. I'm left-handed. Okay, I'll be freehand. This you can then, you know, cover or paint over in black. My handwriting is not the best of handwritings, but I think that message is now clear. I'll probably go over that with paint just to add to the effect. But this is a pure example of what conceptual painting can be. The technique, the execution is totally secondary. The idea is the main thing. I'm going to quickly add to the effect by writing the letters in black. I'm trying to get it to look like as if it was oil, you know, as in even if you did it by hand, it would work, or even have the letters dripping. Okay, I'm nearly finishing that. I've added the text in black just to clearly make it more, you know, dramatic. At the end of the day, I mean, the black has to be really black, and maybe I should have used enamel as opposed to emulsion. But again, you know, the idea is I'm making a reference to what we all know, the new flame that sunk in our waters some time ago. And the fact, you know, that there could have been an oil spillage. There was a lot in the press about the fact that these boats were a menace or a threat to our waters and our livelihood. So that is a good way of you know, my idea behind this painting is purely that. Create awareness. So, and I've tried not to be very, very delicate. The letters are badly painted. That is conceptual art. Okay, another blank canvas, again recycled canvas. Today we're going to be recycling. And following on from what I said earlier on, I'm not trying to defend all conceptual art. There's some good and there's some bad, like everything in life. But there are two main things that one needs to be able to appreciate commercial art. One is that one must have a very open mind. And secondly, that the work must have an idea that at best is good, preferably very good, or else the piece just falls to pieces, and forgive the pun. Right, I'm going to very quickly draw an idea of what I have in mind. Drawing is not the issue right now. I'm just going to do a silhouette of what could be a man, which I'll probably destroy, because I mean this is not about drawing, but I now have quick outline of a man. Maybe a bit of a neck there. Draw freely. Whenever you draw, always draw Zen-like, free strokes. Don't be shy about drawing. You know, you can always just go over it. And you can see how slowly the drawing seems to come through, okay? I might not even go into details like here because they're secondary to what I want to do. That's done now. Bit of paint. Again, very freely, very free. This is going to be very quick. I want to talk about conceptual art as we paint, or as I paint. I believe, and I'm not too sure about this, because it could be someone that did it before, but I think one of the first to do a conceptual piece of art was a guy called Marcel Duchamp in the early 20th century. He did what a lot of people know as the urinal, which was basically, he was very, you know, he was very provocative. In those days, you know, art was still early days, Picasso was around, but basically what he thought of doing was saying, right, and this comes from actually Dadaism. And in the future program, I'll talk about all the isms, abstract art and futurism and expressionism and impressionism. But Dadaism was a movement that basically was concerned with the absurd. And, you know, what we always say, anything goes. So these guys said, hey, guys, you know, we're fed up with the way art is going. Let's just be absurd and let's do stupid things and let's prove a point. So Marcel Duchamp was probably the first one with the urinal. You've all seen that. He just got it and placed it there. What is also known as object trouvé, which means found objects. Art started to look around for any object, any object at home, and it could be used for a painting, you stick on it. So that was the way it was working, object trouvé. Then we had the likes of Andy Warhol with his famous Brillo boxes. What was he trying to do? Very simple, simply pop art was just showing what pop culture was, and he realized that packaging could be a work of art, and he worked on all that. Then he